Welcome to Puvanur RBIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. Welcome to Puvanur RBIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. We are in Misra Jathi Jampa Thalam 10-beat cycle. We have seen some interesting korvais which can be adapted to Kandachapu Thalam as well. We saw how we can do in both the thalas. Hope you have done all the exercises. I gave you some homework how to go about constructing phrases by iteratively increasing tatakadinatham, takadinatham, takitatham, takatam, tatam, those patterns and all. We will have an independent review of whatever creative works you have done, so that any clarifications, I will clear all those doubts. Today we are going to see more korvais in Misra Jathi Jampa Thalam. Before I get into the class, I will start the class with Thirukkural. Arivinan agavadu undo, piridin noi, tannoi pol potra kadai. What is the meaning of it? Matror uyirkku undagum tunbattai, tamakkutra tunbamaha karudi. If a person can realize the harm the other person is undergoing, if he can actually feel it, adanai neeki kaaka murpadavittal, if he is not taking initiative to prevent those harmful acts, Uruvar Petra Arivinal Varakudia Payan Undo. What is the use of having the intelligence or the knowledge? That's what Thiruvalar asks in this Thirukkural. With this good thought, we'll enter into the class. Today I'm going to teach you some interesting patterns in 10-beat cycle. Most importantly, whenever you're composing or when you're doing a pattern, you should ensure that it's simple in nature, but you can also make others feel that you're playing some complex patterns. That should be your structuring. So if you can do those sort of thinking, then it really helps. For example, odd numbers make it even. We all know that 3 plus 5 makes it 8, 7 plus 9 makes it 16, 5 plus 7 makes it 12. And when you a lot of people are normally paranoid about using odd numbers, especially whenever it's 1 thalli or 3 thalli, where it's like walking on a rope, like a circus. Typically, greater Laya Vidwans try to dwell on it quite longer because they are quite adept on the Laya to get the grip of Laya. But using your intelligence, using these odd numbers, you can also make it comfortable by making a pattern. Now this is one of the korvai, one of its kind, where I'm choosing only odd patterns, but it'll beautifully get seated into this thala. Let's look how it happens. Takita, takatakita, takadimi takita. I'm going to use these phrases, which are odd phrases, and then try to build a korvai now. Takita, takatakita, takadimi takita, dung dung. Takita taka takita taka dimi takita dum dum. Takita taka takita taka dimi takita dum dum. Ta di ki ta 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 dum. Ta. Now let's dissect and understand the idea behind it. Takita taka takita. 3 plus 5, 8. Takadimi takita, 7. Dhum dhung, 5. 7 plus 5 is 12. So 3 plus 5 is 8. 7 plus 5 is 12. 8 plus 12 is 20. So I'm making a combination of two odd phrases as first part, and I do a reverse mapping of 7 and 5. earlier it was ascending 3 and 5, later it is 7 and 5. So that you have to, it has a crescendo in it. So 3, 5 and 7, 5, and 8 and 12 makes it 20. So the construction of a phrase looks difficult, but it gets seated and you can tell it very easily and you can play it also comfortably. So again, the first part is very simple. Takita, taka, takita is 2 beats. Taka, dimi, takita, dhun, dong is 3 beats. So it's a combination of 2, 3 beats which flows for 3 times. When you look at it, when you express it faster, when somebody listens, they might think that you're playing a very complex pattern, but it's not so. Takita taka takita taka dimi takita dun dum. Takita taka takita taka dimi takita dun dum. Takita taka takita taka dimi takita dun dum. Tak tik kik tak dum tak tik kik tak dum tak tik tak kum tak taka taka tak. You can play this with a higher speed, then it gives completely a different dimension. So it's the way of art of expression is using these phrases, constructing, but actually it gets seated beautifully. Takita taka dimi takita dum dum. Takita taka dimi takita dum dum. Takita taka dimi takita dum dum. Taga higi taga dum ta diki ta dum ta dingen na dum da dikita ta dikita ta dikita ta. Now I will teach you, if you can do the reverse of the second part, then it makes it all the more interesting. Let's look how it comes. Takita taka dimi takita dum dum. Takita taka dimi takita dum dum. Takita taka dimi takita dum dum. Tadikita to tadikita to tadikita to tadikita dum ta di kita dum ta di kita dum ta. So it's the beauty of doing the reverse pattern. It gives an interesting conclusion to the korvai. If a person has to take a song, you'll be more at ease because you're taking him from a flourish to a slow pace. Ta, di, ki, ta, lum. You can take the song. So that's the beauty of this pattern. So when you're doing it, you do it twice in the normal form. In the third time, you try to reverse it so that the person becomes completely at ease when he takes the song. So this is one idea. The second idea I'm going to teach you is going to change the first part. Again, the second part is a constant here. I'm going to choose a different pattern now. Takita takadimi taka takita tak dundung. I'm making the first half as 12 and the second half as 8. In the first thing we saw, the first half was 8, second half was 12. Let's view it as 12-8 combination. In the 12, again I'm taking it as a midpoint 4, and midpoint 4 I can play takadina, 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 which will be prosaic, but if I want to make it poetical, takita, takadimi, takatakita. So make it as a progressive 3, 4, 5. So takita, takadimi, takatakita, tak dundung. Tak dundung is 2 fingers, takita, takadimi, takatakita is 3 fingers. So that's the combination of the phrase. I use it here, and you can make the korvai out of it. Takita taka dimmi taka takita ta dum dum. Takita taka dimmi taka takita ta dum dum. Takita taka dimmi taka takita ta dum dum. Ta di ki ta dum ta di ki ta dum ta di ki ta dum ta di takradum ta di takradum ta di takradum ta. So this is another interesting way of playing a korvai. So this is another way of playing the same korvai in a different format. Now, give a much more ease of making it very, very comfortable. Takadinata, tatakadinata, taka dinata, di, ki, ta, tum, ta, di, ki, ta, tum, ta, dikka, ta, tum, ta, ti, tarikkada, ta, di, tarikkada, ta, di, tarikkada, ta. So here, taka dinata, tataka dinata, tataka dina is the pattern I have used for the first 5 beats, the rest is the same. Taka dinata, tataka dinata, tataka dinata, dikita, ta, dikita, ta, dikita, ta, dingana, tum, ta, di, ki, ta, tum, ta, di, ta, tum, ta. You can play like that. This is the third variety of playing the same korvai. So what all we saw? The first one is takita taka takita, takademi takita don dong. It's 8 and 12 combination. The second one is takita takademi taka takita, 12 tak don dong, 8. That's the second way of playing the korvai. The third one is takadinatang, tatakadinatang, tatakadinata. That is another way of doing a first part. And also we saw we can flip the second part completely ulta. So right from the back you can come back and bring in a creativity there as well. And also there is scope for playing this taga, dhi, kigi, taga, tom as verb, as a vibrative phrase. Ta 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 ti 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 ki 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 ta 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 dun 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 ta 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 ti 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 ki 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 ta 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 dun 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 ta ta ti ti ki ki ta ta dun dun da di ki ta ta di ki ta ta di ki ta ta. You can express it fully. You can express it as korvai. Ta ta ti ti ki ki ta ta dun dun ta ta ti ti ki ta 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 dung ta 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 dun da di ki ta ta di ki ta ta di ki ta ta. So express the 4 as 2-2 format. Express the 3 as 2-1 format, and the 2 as ta di ki ta tum ta ka di ki ki ta ka tum. You can say like that. So there are multiple ways of expressing the same thing to give beauty to the expression. So 3 times when you do it in a different form so that you get all the ideas. So the way the singer is going to present, you can exactly adapt the same sort of a technique. So that's the korvai number 1 for this today's class. The second class I'm going to teach, second korvai I'm going to take you is again pretty interesting combination I'm going to teach you. Tataka dina is the phrase, is a routine phrase I'm taking. Now I'm going to reduce the korvai towards the end, and then let's see how we can construct this. For example, tataka dina remains constant here. The korvai keeps reducing. Tataka dina tagang, tataka dina taga, tataka dina thong, tataka dina thong, tataka dina. So the korvai decreases 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's how the korvai decreases, but the phrase remains the constant here. Tataka dina taga, tataka dina taga, tataka dina tong, tataka dina tong, tataka dina ta, di, ki, ta, tung, ta, dingan, na, tung, ta, di, ki, ta, tung, ta, di, ki, ta, tung, ta, di, ki, ta, tung. So again, tataka dina is constant. And the korvai 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that varies, and after that you fit the phrase of ta, di, ki, ta, tung, 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 ta. As I told you, the second part you can flip around. Ta, tataka dina taga, tataka dina taga, tataka dina tong, tataka dina tong, tataka dina, tataka dina, tataka dina, tataka dina, ta, di, ki, ta, tum, ta, di, ki, ta, tum, ta. So that's interesting way of playing the same korvai in a different dimension. This korvai is very special because here the technique is you're using one single phrase constantly throughout the first part of it, and you're reducing only the varying the korvais. Korvai meaning the intermediary gap, how you are filling it with some phrase syllables, which are varied nature here. Now you do it for, now we did for 5, we will also do it for 4, we'll also do it for 3. Takadinatagang, takadinataga, takadinatang, takadinatam, takadinataga, tigi, kigi, taga, tungum, da, diketa, tum, da, diketa, 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 tanta. What we did here is takadina is constant. Same logic of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 korvai, it decreases from descending. It's again gobucheti from small to from a bigger number to a lower number. So, and then I backfill a phrase with taga, digi, kigi, taga, togu, tadingenatum, tadikitatan, tadikitatan, tadikitatan. Okay, you can use it, you can tell it reverse as well. Takadinatagang, takadinataga, takadinatang, takadinatang, takadina, tadikitatan, 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 tadikitatum, ta, di, ki, ta, dum, ta. That's another interesting way of telling this korvai. The third variety is using the phrase takita. So now let's look at doing this experiment with takita. Takita ta gang, takita ta ga, takita tong, takita tom, takita ta, di, ki, ta, tum, ta, di, ki, ta, tum, ta, dingan, na, tum, ta, dikita, ta, ta. It's our name, a beautiful phrase. Takita using 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 korvai. And then you're doing a phrase of taga, di, ki, taga, tum, tak, di, kik, tak, tum, ta, dikit, tak, tum, ta, dikit, tak, ta. So, with this, I conclude this korvai number 2, which again, what all we did, we used takadina, we used takita. We used the phrase, the intermediary korvai or the gap from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 constantly reducing it. The later part, we did it in both ways, meaning a forward way, the reverse way of telling the last portion of the sequence. So that's what we learned in this korvai. Let's look at it. I will teach you the third korvai today, which I wanted to also give a good idea about it. Now, this korvai is very, very special. It's a beautiful arithmetic progression. It's an arithmetic progression of it's again gobucheti 7 to 1. Takatadikitatum, tadikitatum, tadikitatum, takadina, takita, taka, ta. This is how it's structured, layered down, and we will try to see what all we can do here. Takatadikitatanta, tadikitatanta, tadikitatanta, takadinata, takitata, takata, tata. So perfectly it fits. So intermediary korvai, beauty here is 1 to 7 you place in a reverse order. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you have placed these puzzle pieces, you add an intermediary block of 2 and between each numbers. So it's 2, 2, 2 constantly you can place it. So you build a structure, the first part of the structure. The second part of the structure is ta, di, ki, ta, tum, ta, dikita, tum, ta, dikita, ta, dikita, ta, dikita, ta. This is stacking of 3, a block of 3, ta, dikita, tum, into 3. So that factor, you take those blocks, that's the first part. Then a block stack of 2, ta, dikita, tum, 2 each. You take that block and single block of ta, dikita, tum, you can place it. That's the second part of your castle. The first part of the castle and the second part of the castle, if you combine it, then it becomes very interesting because both are different sequences of same matras, 40 aksharas each, but you're doing it, both are differently positioned now. So now when you combine, it gives a good architectural view of this laya korvai. Tum, da, dikita, tum, da, dikita, da, dikita, da, dikita, ta. That's the beauty of this korvai. We did a Gobucheti now. We can also do in a Shrotavaheti. Like starting from 1, go to 7 and play the second half the same. Tatam, takatam, takitatam, takadinatam, tatakadinatam, tadiketatada, tadiketada, diketatum, tadiketatum, tadiketatam, tadiketatam, tadiketatada. So you went from 1 to 7 and then you played the later half. When you're going from 1 to 7, you can also reverse the second part. That is even more interesting. Tatam, takatam, takitatam, takadinatam, tadiketatam, 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 tadiketatum, tadiketatum. So that's a brilliant way of, it's an arithmetic progression which is very brilliant. I am so joyful when I tell this because it's an arithmetic progression which makes it very, very interesting. Now the third one is much more fabulous, what I liked. Now, takatadikitatantha, tadikitatantha, tadikitatantha, takadinatha, takitatha, takatha, tatha. You have all these pieces now. Now I am going to do mapping. Takatadikitatantha, tatha, tadikitatantha, takatha, tadikitatantha, takitatha, takadinatha. So when I map the first phrase and the last phrase, it's a combination. Takatadikitatantha, tatha, tadikitatantha, takatha, tadikitatantha, takitatha, takadinatha. This stands out. The central piece stands out, and that's a brilliant combination. Then that way you can also do that. Let's try expressing that form and then telling this korvai. Takata diketatanta, tata, tadiketatanta, takatha, tadiketatanta, takitata, takadinata, dikitatum, tadinganatu, tadiketatanta, diketatanta, diketatanta. So that is the third way of telling this korvai. So hope you enjoyed the mathematics behind all these patterns, and it has also got a beauty of the music behind it. That's how you should play this. So there are many ways you did it. Takatadikitatata, from top to descending order, ascending order, then outer joints, 7-1, 6-2, 5-3, 4 stands apart. That's how you can do that. So with this I'm concluding this class with a Tirukkural. I'll see you in the next class with more korvai and perspectives of how we can do some different ideas in my next class. Inna enathan unarndavai thunnamai vendum piran kan செயல். What is the meaning of it? துன்பம் தருபவை இவை என ஒருவன் தான் உணர்ந்த செயல்களை மற்றவனிடத்தில் செய்யாமல் தவிர்க்க வேண்டும். If a person is understood that certain acts are going to give negative effects or ill effects or harmful effects, you should refrain from doing that, and you should also educate the other person that he should not do that, advise him rightly, and ask him to take the righteous path. With this, I'm concluding this episode. I will see you in the next class with more korvai and Misra, Jathi, Jampa, Thalam. Until then, Puvanur Arya signing off. Episode 4, Misra, Jathi, Jampa, Thalam, korvai 1, Mathematical Understanding, total count of 120 aksharas. Interpretation of korvai goes like this. Takita taka takita taka dimi takita tundung. Takita taka takita taka dimi takita tundung. Takita taka takita taka dimi takita tundung. Taga di ki taga dungum ta di ki ta tum ta diketa tum ta diketa ta diketa ta diketa ta. Episode 4, Misra, Jathi, Jampa, Thalam, korvai 2, Mathematical Understanding, total count of 80 aksharas. Interpretation of korvai goes like this. tataka dinatagam, tataka dinatagam, tataka dinatang, tataka dinatam, tataka dinata, di ki ta dung, tadiketa tum, tadiketa 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 ta. Episode 4 Misra Jathi Jampa Thalam korvais 3 Mathematical Understanding Total count of 80 aksharas. Interpretation of korvai goes like this. Taka tadikita tunta, tadikita tunta, tadikita tunta, taka dinata, takitata, takata, tata, di ki ta tum, tadikita tum, tadikita tunta, dikita tunta, dikita tunta.